Hello everyone! Today's deck is really exciting as it's a competitive, extremely budget, and can be used in the Exceeds event as well as Grand. Furthermore, it allows you to complete the quest which requires you to activate trap cards. It's Phantasm Spiral. Not only have I been playing this set in the Exceeds event, but I also played in Plat Grand as well, and it performed wonderfully. Before we start, let me add this. The extra deck is completely irrelevant, so you don't have to worry about crafting these super rares and ultra rares if you were looking for a budget deck. I did use a few of these cards in theory, but I never end up using a single one of them. And as you can see, the rest of the deck is really budget. As always, I'll start by giving you a detailed explanation of the deck, followed with some gameplay. Now let me explain how this deck works. Your most important card is your field spell. The Phantasm City is treated as Yumi, and when you summon a normal monster, you can add a Phantasm Spiral card from your deck to your hand. Furthermore, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a 2000 attack and defense level 8 token, which is treated as a normal monster, and while you can only control a single token, there is no restriction on how many times you can activate this effect. Therefore, if the token is removed from your side of the field by an opponent's card effect, you can just summon a new one, infinitely. Now, why is summoning the token so important? To understand that, let's look at the cards around it. Phantasm Spiral Battle can only be activated if all monsters you control are normal monsters, and it allows you to target one card and destroy it. But the best part is that it can be activated from your hand if you control Yumi, which is your field spell. Your other trap is Phantasm Spiral Power, which has the same activation conditions, and it allows you to negate the effects of a monster and decrease its attack and defense by 1000. Since these cards are searchable with your field spell, and you are not required to set them to activate it, it really catches unsuspecting players off guard. Now let's have a look at C's Stealth Attack. It has perfect synergy with this deck, as it allows you to play Yumi from your hand or graveyard, so it allows you to get your field spell back from the graveyard. Furthermore, you can banish a water monster you control to make all your face-up spells and traps indestructible. This interacts excellently with your field spell, as when your opponent activates a spell trap removal, you can activate this effect, banish your token to protect your field spell, and then on resolution, you can summon another token since your opponent has activated a card, and this gives this deck an incredible protection. The second effect of this trap is pretty relevant too, as you can destroy monsters that battle with your level 5 or higher monsters. Since your token is a level 8, you will never have to worry about losing a battle again. Just these cards are the main core of your deck, and I also have included many cards that has good synergy with it. I am playing Phantasm Spiral Dragon and Phantasm Spiral Drip as well. Phantasm Spiral Drip is an equipped spell, which gives 500 attack to the normal monster, and when the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon Phantasm Spiral Dragon from your deck, hand, or graveyard, and then equip the equipped spell to the Phantasm Spiral Dragon and inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. It really speeds up how fast you can kill your opponent, but these cards are not strictly necessary for the deck. I'm also playing Megalomesher X, as it's the best normal water monster we have access to. Planet Pathfinder is another way to get our field spell, so is Terraforming. Then I'm also playing some trap decks such as Dimensional Fissure against graveyard reliant decks, and Shield Drain just negates all monster effects, being really good against most of the decks you'll come across. Then we have some generics such as Torrential Tribute, such as Paleozoic Canadia and Solemn Judgment. I particularly like Paleozoics in this deck, because they come back from your graveyard as a normal monster when you activate another trap. So you can experiment with a more Paleozoic heavy version of this deck, but you can also use other generic good trap cards if you like. Rounding up the traps, we have Fists of Unrivaled Tenyi. This is basically a better Solemn Judgment that you can use if you control a non-effect monster, and if it's destroyed while it's set, you can special summon a non-effect monster from your extra deck, such as the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which is really funny, but that effect never really came up before. Finally, we have 3 Match C and a Nibiru for our hand traps. Now I never really want to go second with this deck, but if I am forced to do so, I do want to have some insurance, to make it more difficult for my opponent, and I feel like Match C with Nibiru is the most effective way. Finally, I also have Raideki, because sometimes a card like Raideki is really what you need. The extra deck is mostly irrelevant. I do play some non-effect monsters such as Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and the Berserker of Tenyi to special summon with my trap, but I never ended up going into any of these at all. And now, let's see the deck in action. So let's start with our first duel. Our opponent is going to win the coin flip and draw first, and then they will start by activating that restless trainer and sending about 21 cards to their graveyard. And then they will activate Reasoning. I will call 4 because I did see them playing Strike Stretchers. And since Infernoids are not going to be summonable with Reasoning anyway, they will just pretty much mill their whole deck here. Let's just speed up a bit. At 7 cards that we finally hit a playable monster, they will summon an Infernoid, and then with 50 cards in their graveyard, they will summon their combo. They'll start by going into a Heat of the Fire Charmer, and then they will banish cards from graveyard to summon another Infernoid, and then summon another Infernoid from hand, and pass the turn back to us. There are about 46 cards in the graveyard, so let's see what we can do. We'll start with a Pathfinder to get a field spell to our hands, and then we'll activate the field spell. We will set 2 cards and pass our turn. Our opponent is going to start by link summoning into a Nightmare Unicorn to get rid of one of my back rows. This will allow us to activate the field spell, which will summon a token to our side of the field, and then get a search for a card. They will summon another Infernoid, which would destroy my field spell, so to negate that we will activate Spiral Power from our hands and negate its effects. Then they will do into a link for access to a altar, and then they will activate its effect to target Unicorn and gain 3000 attack. I will turn the auto to the on here, and on resolution I will activate Phantasm Spiral Battle, targeting the access to a altar to destroy it. Then they will banish more Infernoids from the graveyard to summon the one that destroyed a spell again, which I will also negate once more with my Phantasm Spiral power. Then they will summon another Infernoid from their hands. They have 4 cards left in that, and they'll go into battle and chill the token. To stop that, I'll use another Spiral Battle, and then they'll concede after that. Our next match is against Legolas Trap Brigade, and once again they're going first, because we lost the coin flip again. They'll start with a 2-cards Warbler and summon a Cobalt Sparrow. This is as good as their hand can get. They will search for a Sapphire Swallow, and then summon Beryl Canary with the Sapphire Swallow, and then go into a Recital Starlink. They will go into another Recital Starlink here, and then they will activate their Recital Starlink to get a search. They will get Nerval, and then with the second one they'll get a Beryl Canary. Then they will go into a Utopic Future, and then they will upgrade the Utopic Future into a Utopic Draco Future. Then they will normal summon Nerval, activate its effects, and banish 3 to summon a Simord. Then they will activate the Beryl Canary, summoning another Beryl Canary, and then they will Exceed summon here into an Ensemble Robin. And then they'll end turn activate Simord to get a Barrier Statue of the Winds. This is as good as this deck can get, and let's see if we can break it. We'll start with a Planet Pathfinder. They will choose not to Utopic Draco Future this, and this will be their ending. We will follow up with a Dimensional Fissure and activate our field spell, then we will set 3 cards and pass our turn. They will go straight into battle because they don't want to activate any cards which would proc our field spell, but I'll first go into a Skill Drain and then go into a Sea Stealth attack here. This reduces the damage we will take from the Ensemble Robin. But we do have very low life points, so it's a good thing that we already have the normal monster in our hand, and we just drew another one anyway. We'll normal summon the monster, and then they will ash our field spell to stop from searching the card. But we can still summon a token with it, because they had to ash. And then we'll chill the Ensemble Robin. They will trigger Trap Brigade Nerval to add a card back to their hand. And then we will attack into their VFD with Sea Stealth attack, destroys it. Since Skill Drain is up, it has been destroyed due to our effects of our Sea Stealth attack, and since its effects were negated with Skill Drain, we can get over it. They will have to just set a card and then try to attack us, but then that doesn't work because Sea Stealth attack also destroys our opponents if they are the one attacking. So no longer Simort for them. We will draw for turn and draw a Phantasm Spiral Battle, which is nice. We'll summon another Medulla Masher, draw for another Search, and then we'll now get the Etrip spell to Etrip into our monster, so that after we attack with it, we can activate the Etrip spell, summon a Spiral Dragon from our deck, and then change it Etrip spell to the Spiral Dragon to deal for more damage. Spiral Totem destroys their set monster, Spiral Dragon attacks, and then Medulla Masher would have won us the game anyway, so they surrender here. So this is how the deck works. It's incredibly budget and surprisingly strong against many of the meta threats. The fact that it can also be used in the Xyz event with no limitations is really helpful as well. And I've been using this deck to complete the only mission I have left in the exhibition, which is to activate trap cards. I have some suggestions for anyone who is looking to improve the deck. A card like Puzzle Deck could be a good way to get Medulla Masher Edge to your hand, as well as using more copies of Pot of Extravagance and Pot of Prosperity. Since you don't really need your extra deck, it could be a way to get some draw power. As a more budget option, cards like Unexpected Die is also available, since 3 copies of this card is given to all starting players, and this will allow you to summon the Medulla Masher from your deck. Dogmatic Punishment is another good card. However, to get the full value of it, you would have to craft some ultra rares for your extra deck that you can send with, since this allows you to trigger the cards from your extra deck by sending them to the graveyard. So if you have cards such as Intis, Wind-Pegasus Ad Ignister in your extra deck that you can send with Dogmatic Punishment to trigger the Wind-Pegasus, this might be worth including, but since I don't have any of these cards owned already, I'm not playing it, but it would be good to have. Another card you can play could be Frozen Match, since your deck is all waters, but Frozen Match doesn't necessarily affect every deck out there. So another alternative could be there can be only one. And since you usually only summon 1 or 2 monsters, and your Medulla Masher is a dinosaur, and your Phantasm Spiral Dragon and your tokens are a worm monster, so they are different types, there can be only one doesn't really affect you either, and it can be a good floodgate to run. So I hope this video has been helpful. Subscribe to the channel to see more various decks, and let me know what deck you would like to see me cover next. And I'll see you all in the next video.